Are you? DragooX is back and welcome to another Elden Ring video. Today I want to show you guys my new build. It's a DEX build and I call it the Lightning Dragon build. And this lightning damage based build is so much fun to play. It's great for melee fights and we have access to one of the strongest range attack skills in the game. I said already, it's a DEX build, so we don't need any spell here because the lightning skills that we are using are so incredibly good. I made this build mainly for PvP, but I tried it in PvE and I was surprised. It works better than expected. Good damage, we can easily knock down bosses, a very strong range attack, and overall the build works great against all the other mobs that are no bosses. And now I would say, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I show you now what you need to make this build. Let's start this build with the weapons, and here I'm normally going with 3 different weapons and 1 dagger for the golden woe buff. I have currently only 2 of the 3 weapons equipped. The 3rd weapon is mainly for the range attack. And I don't have it equipped because I don't want to get the extra equipment load here. I would go on heavy then. But when you play with more endurance, then you can equip all 3 at the same time. Now I show you guys the reason why I call this build Lightning Dragon build, because I'm using here the Dragon King's Cragblade. This heavy thrusting sword deals physical and lightning damage, scales mainly with DEX, and you also need 37 DEX to equip it. And the skill makes you to a thundercloud missile that crush into the enemy and deals some insane damage when it hits. Because in PvP for sure the people can dodge it, but when you have the right timing sometimes you can hit them after the dodge and then it hits like a truck. So this skill is very powerful, but you shouldn't use it too obvious because then the enemy can dodge it, especially when you use the Bloodhound step. But that's not everything. While you're in this thundercloud form, you're flying in the air and you can avoid some damage. And you can charge the skill. When you charge it, then you fly over a bigger distance and you'd also deal some extra damage. And now I show you guys the 2nd weapon that I'm using, the Godskin Stitcher, together with the Storm Assault Ash of War, and I put lightning on it, so it also deals physical and lightning damage. The Storm Assault Ash of War is a skill that I never really saw before. I never saw someone using it against me, and I think it's really underrated because it's not so overpowered, definitely. It's a good skill, but not overpowered. When you use the skill, you jump into the air, and on the point where you jump from, you leave an AoE area, a storm area that deals a low amount of damage, but it's some extra damage, and when you hit the enemy you also make this storm area around you that is some extra protection, and on the point you hit with your weapon it also deals some great damage. So the skill can be very powerful. For me, maybe they can make a small buff to it and increase the jump range a little bit. So that are the both heavy thrusting swords that I'm using that you can also power stance, and they are perfect for short to mid distance. And for the long distance I have the 3rd weapon here, and I said already you can equip it the full time when you have enough equipment load. I equip it every time over the inventory because I mainly use it for the long range attacks. It's a spear, the bolt of Gransax, and this weapon is basically a sniper. You can shoot it from such a far distance, and the engine lightning spear skill deals also some great damage. You can charge it up. It's definitely the best or one of the best range attack skills in Elden Ring. And I have to say it again, we are playing here a DEX build. We don't need any point into faith and we can shoot lightning around us, and this build is so much fun to play. It feels really cool. And I equipped the full Maliketh armor set here because it fits perfectly into this build. It looks so dope with the lightning skills, with the jumping around. It looks cool, and this is the reason why I had equipped this full armor set. The talismans that I'm using is the Lightning Scorpion Charm for extra lightning damage, the Shard of Alexander for more damage with our skills, the Ritual Sword Talisman, and I have the Red Against Soul Seal equipped. When you play on level 150 or so, then you don't really need it, then I would take something else. For example, the Godfrey Icon Talisman that increase the damage of charged spells and skills. This only buffs the engine lightning spear, not the thundercloud form. Even if you can charge it a bit, it's not buffed by this talisman. Also in the mixed Physick we can increase the damage a bit with the lightning shrouding crack tier that increase the lightning damage, and I also have the extra 10 points DEX here. When you're already on the DEX cap, then you can choose something else, whatever you want. And to the end of this build I also want to show you my attribute points, and I'm on this character level 100 and the Great Rune here is not active. I have 40 points into Rigor, 13 points into Mind, 26 in Endurance, 20 into Strength for the board of Gransax, and 75 points into DEX. I'm by the way playing the Samurai class here. And if you still have questions to the build, feel free to ask me in the comments below. We see us in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a nice day. Bye bye.